All right, we are
Woo.
live.
Hello,
What's going
hello.
on?
Happy Sunday, y'all.
Sunday.
It is
Sunday.
Sunday. It is not Monday, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. It
What do
is
you guys
not
do this
Monday,
week?
not even a little bit.
Oh, look, Alexander is here. Linda Marie, what's up?
Hi,
Awesome to see you.
Joanne.
Joanne's here. Hello,
Hello,
hello.
friends.
Spirit Walker Productions.
It's Sunday Fun
Oh,
Day.
Harry
YouTube.
How's everyone spending
Jeremiah,
their Sunday
hey.
Fun Day?
Sunday fun day.
Oh, no.
Well, how are y'all
What's up?
spending your Sunday fun days?
I've been packing merch pretty much all day. I'm really excited. It's always fun to see where all the hatters are and all the people who send in orders. Like there's just every single part of the states, really. So it's been really fun. And yeah, that's just what I've been doing. What are you all up to?
I'm seeing in the chat that it's raining again, and yeah, yes, it's raining on our end as well. Enjoying the rain, actually. I'm like soaking it
Yeah.
up. I went on an awesome hike yesterday, so I like hikes that are kind of rainy and cloudy. It's
Yeah.
for me. How about
Yeah,
y'all?
it's the best.
I'm seeing here we have dyeing my hair and going to the pub for date night. That sounds
Oh, that's good.
awesome. Let's do it. That is a proper
Wow.
Sunday.
Got Minecraft
Yeah.
Day as well.
Minecraft, that sounds great.
Yes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Jacqueline's
Paul,
about to go to
awesome.
dinner, but wanted to say hello.
Hi.
And enjoy your dinner.
Oh, Terry, you're
Yeah.
crocheting. I love your projects. You make the
Yeah.
coolest stuff. I can't wait to see what this one is.
Yes. Oh, cold in Akron. We're going to be in Akron soon, actually, next month. Our tour launches in 4 weeks, less than 4 weeks, y'all.
Ooh, you guys,
Ooh.
so
Coming
exciting.
up.
4
Yes,
weeks?
yes,
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Less than
Yep.
4 weeks.
I need to practice.
It is
been
good.
practicing.
It is good.
Yeah, Sasha and
What's
I are
up,
actually
Sean
Sasha.
Lammers?
Sean, yay.
Hi.
Sasha and I have a vocal practice later today, so that's
Yep.
one of the things that we have on deck. And then
Yeah.
we
did
have
a big
our own
one.
version. We have our own version of Sunday Fun Day, which we gather and pack orders and work on band stuff, and it's amazing because we get to do that together. So
Yep.
yes,
Our Sunday shippings.
yes.
Yeah,
It's great.
I got a head start on it, so it'll be a fun time when you guys come over,
Nice.
and we'll have some fun times packing the rest of the orders out. So
Yeah.
thanks everyone for your support.
Thank you so much. And it is so cool to get to see like what part of the states everybody's in. Like it's so fun, especially when it's like, oh, we're going there or we're going really near there. Like, I wonder if we're gonna see them at the show. And then it's just such fun. So thank y'all so much. The adventure is wild and y'all make it possible. So thank you.
We're seeing Carl is coming out to our Saratoga Springs, New York show. That
Nice.
is awesome.
I will definitely be there, yes.
Oh, thank you for
I was like,
gracing us,
how
Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
I was thinking
Carl
about missing
already
that
said
one,
yes.
but
Yeah. Carl's gracing us.
Mhm.
So Ronald says, what? Alice has to practice? I'm shocked. It's funny because we practice a lot.
We practice a lot.
Like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's all I've been doing today with this nice rainy day.
Yeah. Like Tashi was saying, we have a rehearsal today. We had a big rehearsal yesterday. I feel like it's nearly daily at this point for making sure everything's exactly where it needs to be. I know Carl. Yeah.
Oh, well, we have different layers of practice. Like, Sasha and I will have our vocal practice and, we individually practice. Carl has his own practice routine. I know you can talk about that, and then we have our band rehearsals. How is your practice stuff coming along, Mr. Carl?
Oh, it's coming along great. It's always good to get to go through and revisit all the songs, even the ones that we don't normally play all that much, because I've been learning so much about piano. I'm turning them and to not to play for the show. The show we have our locked thing, but I'm like adding, these like walk ups and walk downs to like the nice little melodic parts. And I've been trying to learn some new warm up songs. And today I was learning Three Little Birds by Bob Marley for a nice little warm up.
Oh, that's
And
so
it's
fun.
been really nice. And then Luna came and sat next to me while I was playing it, so I think I was doing an okay job with it.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
didn't totally hate it.
That's
Animals don't
awesome.
I
lie.
saw,
Nope.
I saw Brigitta was asking when is the Saratoga Spring Show, and I think
So
we have that's upstate New York.
that is, I will tell you. Give me two shakes back amongst yourselves.
And I'll throw up
And
the
somebody else
poster
was
too.
asking why we don't have
Yeah.
Florida on this particular route. We actually played Florida in October, and October, November, actually. We played several dates. And so, the way we tour is that we go by region, because that's kind of what makes it doable for us. So this particular route is mostly like Midwest and like kind of East Coast. And we haven't been able to play in New York actually since 2019. So we're excited about that. And we're making the rounds. So we're coming back.
Yeah.
I promise we'll definitely come back to Florida. We loved playing there. It was an amazing community. So, and we miss y'all there.
May 8th is the
May 8th. Nice. Yeah, that's Saratoga.
I threw the poster up so I was able to see it.
Thank you. And
Looks like
go ahead.
Christine is asking if we're going to be in New Hampshire or Massachusetts. Actually, we'll be playing in Salem on May 5th. It's really cool because Scott and Steve and I all play in another band as well called System Sin. So we'll be doing double duty that night for the May 5th Salem show. So hopefully you can make it out. That would be awesome.
Spirit Walker Productions asks, are any of the tours coming near Maryland? And I feel like we're kind of circling around it. So
yeah, let me throw
yes,
up the
many
poster
Yes.
again. So we're going to be in Maryland is like sort of near DC, right? Am I totally
and
totally
Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania? So yeah. Oh no, this is the old poster. I'm so sorry. So we're not playing in Wilmington. We're playing in Easton, Pennsylvania. So May 4th is Easton, Pennsylvania. We're going to be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Richmond, Virginia. So maybe that's sort of close. In the meantime, I'm going to get a new poster up. Sorry about that.
Oh, I love this question. Is this the one you were talking about, Sash? Since Spirit Walker Productions is asking if anyone in the band is a Marvel fan.
Right?
Yes.
It's a great question.
I would say so.
Every movie that comes out, I'm there.
Yeah.
Every movie, every series, I'm like, yes. And that's just in terms of the film world. I love the comics as well. I personally don't collect, but I think Scott does actually.
Yeah, I actually was more of a fan of like Image Comics growing up, but I got into Spider-Man, because of Todd McFarlane. He drew some of the Spider-Mans, and I was like a huge fan of his artwork. So from Spawn, But anyways, that's in terms of like the actual comics, that's what I was into. I don't know. Did you guys like any other comics? Did you guys read comics growing up or anything like that?
I grew up on like the Vampire the Masquerade books, which then led to Sandman, which then led to like the rearing of Human. I loved those Sandman comics so much. And let's see, Watchmen, loved Watchmen, and Transmetropolitan. That like Spider Jerusalem was my hero for a while. So like, yeah, those would be my tops. So
Andrew,
I'm just like
Ayers Wiggins is asking if we're playing any Wisconsin gigs, and yes, we are actually. We're playing in Madison at the Crucible. Really excited about that show. What date is that? Let me see. It is.
I have the poster right up here. So at the Crucible, we're playing
April 27th. April 27th.
April 27th. Yes.
Yeah, what's
At the
really
Crucible
cool about
with-
this particular show, well, we love the Crucible, we love the community there, but it's what's like one of the really cool things about this show is that we're playing with an artist called Sam Tar. And I'm actually making a whole Spotify playlist with all the bands that have a Spotify profile, so you guys can check out like the different bands that we're playing with. It's so cool because like, you know, I'm the one that puts the tours together. And so for certain shows, I get to actually help pick out, you know, the artists that we get to play with. And oh my gosh, Sam Tar is amazing. He's going to be performing as a solo artist for this particular show. And Brian from Void Signal actually introduced us to him, and just really incredible. I think everyone that comes to the show or is able to is in for a treat. This is going to be, I think, his debut show there. So really excited about that. So yeah, and then we'll be posting up the Spotify playlist as well, so y'all can check that out, because I'm really excited about the bands and DJs that we're getting to play with on this tour. I think that's part of the fun, is like really getting to discover new music, become fans ourselves. Like I'm actually wearing a band shirt, Red Locust, from one of the people that we get to work with in Pittsburgh. So like I'm a huge live music fan, so that's part of the fun.
We got a question.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you go.
I was just gonna say, I know Tosh just like tossed it in there casual about booking the tours, but y'all, it's so much. And the fact that you take the time to then put together this list so that we can all hear all the musicians that that's above and beyond. Like, you've climbed the mountain.
Oh.
And I'm so grateful.
It's a village effort, y'all. It's not just me. Everybody, all y'all are involved. The community is involved, but thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like it's awesome because too, in certain cities, like I'll get recommendations, like someone will be like, oh, you should check out this venue or this promoter or this band. And it's also helpful. Like, you know, we're a DIY outfit. So it's great when people, you know, in the community reach out and they're like, you know, oh, you know, let me help you with this. You know, we actually have some people that are helping a street team. So they're passing out posters and flyers, and that's incredible. Like we're so grateful for that support. So yeah, I appreciate it, but I am one little cog in the big wheel.
So really quick, we got some other questions, and they already sort of scrolled past, so I'm gonna try to remember what it was. But Sean Lammers was asking us if we would ever consider doing like a labyrinth scene in one of our music videos, like sort of like how they had the staircase in the movie, you know? And I thought that was a cool idea. Just I don't think we've ever thought of anything like that. So maybe that'll be something we do. You know?
That would be fun. I can see like the ball, you know, that he does the hands, and we could do some hands, and I bet RJ knows how to handball or whatever that's called. And then like we could do something really magical with that. That's a cool idea.
I love that idea, because the staircase reminds me so much of an Escher, and just the moving world and like this sort of surreal factor in it. We're actually talking with an amazing music video director in New York, and I have a feeling that that's kind of up his wheelhouse. So yes, I think great minds think alike. Sean, I love this idea.
Yes. And David Egan is asking, do we write all of our songs together, or is there like one primary person?
I think it depends on the song. Like, you know, me, Scott, and Gordon, when we first started Alice, were the three, you know, primary songwriters. And then as we've evolved, it's become like a really collaborative process. So sometimes like one of us will come up with like a musical idea, like in the case of Electrical. I was hearing this like verse, like, you know, I heard the first verse in my head, and then I brought it to the band, and then we just kind of fleshed it out together. So it's I think that's part of the beauty and magic of Alice, is that we are a really collaborative group. So we like to just like do things like creative writing retreats and come up with like visual ideas and story ideas and musical ideas that kind of help in this group think process. And you know, I myself have never really been into being a solo artist. Like I love collaborating with people. So I think that's part of the fun for our group.
Yeah, that just about summed up everything I would have said. That's awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the chat. Feel free to ask questions. Oh man, just scrolling through over here. So,
Ronald is asking if we've heard anything from Jared and the Wasteland crew. We haven't. But what's so cool is that like as we've been touring since we played Wasteland, we've been actually like meeting people that come out to our shows from all over. It's amazing. Like we play a show in Vegas and somebody's like they're from the Wasteland Weekend group, and I just feel like it's this beautiful community that just brought us in and made us feel right at home. So yeah, we haven't been contacted by him, but we're getting a lot of love from everyone that we've met in the community. So
yeah, the community, the Wasteland community is really tight knit and very welcoming at the same time. It's a great community, and we've made a lot of friends, and they're like, I mean, I just from time to time they'll check in and be like, "What's up?" So and so from Wasteland Weekend. Looking forward to seeing you next year. And it's like we're all, they're already talking like we're going to be playing, and I'm like, okay, like, that'd be cool. So we'll see what happens. Jason Bios is wondering where the chat is. So yeah, we're actually using the comments as chat, but you could actually, if you click on the actual like video in Facebook, it'll bring you right to the interactive chat. So try not to comment like on another post for it, but just click right into the video, and you'll be able to like interact. We're also on YouTube /Alice AL1CE or Twitch at alice.tv. So all those places you could chat with us, but you're actually chatting with us right now because you made that comment. So
and we're also on Twitch
great.
as well for the Twitchers out there. We're also on Twitch. We're Alice TV, AL1CE TV. So, but yeah, we're trying to it's really cool. We're getting to see all the different comments from the different platforms, and thank y'all so much for hanging out with us on Sunday Fun Day.
And
Wait, but
and something, what's that?
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say really quick, we're going to be doing, actually, to kick off the tour, something we've done the last couple tours is doing an actual like streamed live performance. So that's April 17th. You could see it's on this poster that I threw up as I like enlarge it over the entire screen. April 17th, we shall kick the tour off. And Sasha, you said you were going to say something.
We have a question from Spirit Walker that says, did Alice in Wonderland inspire the name of the band?
Love that question.
I feel like
we're definitely inspired by the mythos of Alice in Wonderland. Like I've always loved the concept of like, going through the looking glass and down the rabbit hole. And like to me, Alice is like a real like coming of age story, but it's very surreal. So that's definitely a piece of art and work that's very much influenced my life. I feel like there's certain very universal stories, like Alice in Wonderland being one of them, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
Yeah.
There's certain very universal, like Joseph Campbell, kind of stories that just speak to like everybody. So yeah, that's definitely.
Yeah, I mean, I like personally feel like it's something that I can really relate to, and I feel like it's just something we all connected with, that story. But it definitely like touches on like what Tosh was saying, like just these universal stories that I feel like are the stories of our lives, so it's something we could all relate with together, Robert Kerrigan was asking, can everyone state the artist that inspired them to play?
Mm-hmm.
And Carl, do you want to go?
Just trying to think of one. There's just so many. I guess the artist that inspires me to play right now, other than everybody in this band, would probably be Ludovico Einaudi. He's a great piano player and composer, and I listen to a lot of his stuff right now just to like get inspired by how he like moves over the keyboard and just how much feeling and passion goes into every note that he plays and that he writes. So that's going to be my answer this time. If you ask me next week, it will be somebody different, and the week after, somebody different. So we'll keep this train rolling.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Who's next?
I guess, yeah, I mean, for me, the artist that inspired me to begin playing my guitar, it's probably a cross between Nine Inch Nails, Nirvana, Smashing Pumpkins, even like I really got into Aphex Twin around that time too. And it was just a combination of like listening to music that just blew my brain open at the time. You know, Pink Floyd, of course, at the time, Tool. So I just decided I wanted to play guitar. And I'm not sure if it was because of the artist that I was listening to or just because I needed to play. But, you know, listening to music was definitely the thing that made me want to like create music.
I'm trying to think, like, I grew up, like I started playing piano at a really, really young age. And I, started singing. I was a baby, actually. Like, my parents heard me singing in tune when I was 9 months old, and I started taking piano lessons when I was 2. So I'm not really sure I can answer that question. It's sort of like, I guess maybe my parents inspired me to play because they saw something in me, and really supported that particular gift. And I got emotional about that one. I'm like, oh,
yeah, here.
Yeah, I think it's I'm very fortunate to have really supportive parents, in terms of parents who have really really believed in that particular part of me. So yeah. How about you, Sash?
Well, I mean, to answer about like inspired me to perform now, the answer is Tosh, because you asked me to come and perform, and I'm so grateful that you did. So that's why I'm performing today. So, but I think in the way back when, in the very beginning, Julie Andrews, Angela Lansbury, those kinds of voices that told stories while singing, like I think that really spoke to my tiny person heart. So yeah. And again, I'm like Carl, and I think we all are, in a way that we're like, we have those fundamental ones that will never leave the system, but week to week, moment to moment, you'll hear something totally new and be like, holy crap, I've never heard anything like that before. And now my whole life is different because of this, like when the beat dropped, and I try not to make decisions based on that, but I sometimes do.
Yeah, I was just thinking, and just for some reason that just reminded me of something else I just wanted to bring up, was that like I feel like something that also really that inspired me to get into music was just realizing the actual power that behind music, like in terms of like just the raw like emotions that you can express. You look like, from just like a guitarist, you like look at someone like Jimi Hendrix, who's like ripping apart his amplifiers and making them sound like they're literally on fire, and like literally lighting fire to his guitar. Like it was like some sort of, I don't even know, like some otherworldly like creation he was ushering into the world, to like, Rage Against the Machine through, just speaking like their minds and their hearts through the power of like this like heavy music, I don't know. This is something I just wanted to bring up, but I feel like it was important.
Here's a great question. What can we expect at your shows?
Oh,
I know, right? It's like my stars and garters.
Mayhem.
There will be a hullabaloo.
Yes.
Pandas.
There will be, yes. The road police.
You know, that's a great question because I myself never really know what to expect because really it's like, okay, I've always found that the best laid plans are usually put to waste. So it's like I'll have this intention where I'm like, okay, and it's gonna be like this, and it's gonna be like this, and then I show up and it's totally not like that. But the one like common thread I think with our shows is that you will meet a group of people who are very passionate about what we do and who would love to meet you. We absolutely love getting to meet all of y'all in our community. And so if you have the time and the bandwidth to come and hang out with us, you will meet all of us. So that's number one. And you'll also find a group of people who will give everything that they have to that moment on stage. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like I something else I'd like to bring up. We do bring like really high production to every show that we play, no matter what venue, smallest to the biggest venues. Like we will bring a full light show. Like we bring basically like our own sound system, you know, like we bring you know, each member has, you know, their various instruments. You know, Gordon has like a synth bass that he plays with his feet, you know, and you know, we've got, I don't even know how many, yeah, 3 synthesizers on stage. You know, Steve plays drums. I mean, Sasha might even bring her theremin. I don't know. It's gonna be really fun.
Let's get crazy.
But yeah, but like it comes down, yeah, like what Tasha's saying, it really comes down to you. Like our show's different every night, depending on the crowd and the people, and we always just sort of feel it out. You know, like we will create a set list for that night. Like we don't really go into the tour with like, here's our one set list that we're playing. Like we actually sit down every day when we're at the venue and we feel what it feels like in the room. We're like, okay, what would feel good to play you know, during this set? You know, we have a couple of songs that are like that we know are good, whether we're like starting or ending, but it all changes and shifts. So it really depends on you.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things too what's really fun about our band is that we're all multi-instrumentalists. So it's kind of a growing joke that we have to continue to evolve our trailer because we keep on wanting to bring more toys with us on stage and on tour. So yeah, because we all like playing a lot of things. So that's part of the fun is like, what new toys is this band gonna bring next?
Okay.
I know that Gordon has a new setup for this tour, and like Scott mentioned, there's talk of a theremin that's being brought. And yes,
yeah, I feel like the trailer Tetris changes every night, trying to find like what is the most
a trailer on the trailer.
Yeah,
like
an extra bunny tail.
It'll be like a caravan of trailers eventually, you know.
And Christopher in the YouTube chat asked if we play the bagpipes. I think we should.
We should
Bring the bagpipes. I volunteer.
I feel like, yeah, I think you could probably figure that out.
That's like I love the bagpipes. I love bagpipes so much. It doesn't matter. Like I listen to electronica bagpipes in my car when I want to go super fast. Like it's really fun.
There's electronica bagpipes.
Oh yeah, I'll send you a link.
Oh please do. I gotta hear that.
Sounds great.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
David Egan was asking if we could get our lyrics up on our website, and that's just such a great idea. Like we have some of our lyrics up on Bandcamp, but it's sort of hidden. So we need to organize that. I think we've gotten a few requests, so I think it is time, and that would be a fun little project to just throw that up on our website, you know.
Yeah, well, definitely. That's a project that I'm working on. So yes, coming soon.
And Ronald Mayfield said, my wife wants to tell you she loves your music. And personal note, he's 70 years old, she's 68. So you hit the seniors crowd. And that's freaking awesome. Like, you know, there's no we don't see like ages or anything like that. People are people. So, young or old, whoever, whatever you are, you're all welcome.
We actually have dog fans. So
That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
we played this amazing
Yes.
show in Bisbee, Arizona, and there was this sweet dog that was just sitting there by the stage, and she just loved it. I think she was dancing along to Mirage. It was the most amazing thing to watch this dog like dancing with us. She was awesome. Yeah, so we welcome all critters and people, and that's really awesome that your wife loves the music.
That was like the amazing disappearing and reappearing Sasha.
So sorry.
No, that's all.
I have reappeared.
I love this question from Robert Kerrigan, who is asking if we can speak on the ultimate vision for the band and what is our band statement. And oh my gosh, that is a really good question. I think it's really hard to say because I feel like that's always going to evolve. Like we're creatures of evolution, like who we are when we started the band versus who we are now has definitely evolved. I mean, I can tell you there's been some common threads. Like we've always been really about the community that it's around us. Like we love collaborating with people. We love supporting our community around us. We love supporting the live music community, and we love our Mad Hatters. So that's been kind of a big thing is like, I love the fact that music can bring people together in that way. We've had really amazing opportunities in our various incarnations to do things like we did this program with the US State Department that they took us over to a couple different countries. One was Algeria and one was Uzbekistan. And our trip to Algeria is actually what inspired the song Breathe. And when we were there, even though we might not have spoken the same language, one of the things that we, experienced is that music is like a universal language. So it's like, we just smile at each other and start jamming, and it was great. And I think, in my family too, like that was kind of a normal thing at family holidays is like would gather around the piano and, like family holidays can be complicated, but the one thing where everyone would put their differences aside is when we'd gather around the piano and sing and play together. And that's what I absolutely love about music. So I feel like that's kind of part of the vision is just continuing to really nurture the community aspect and help to nurture other artists. Like I do envision like an Alice Studios and helping to, help other artists find their voice and find the platforms that they are looking for and to help find their people as well. So that's a pretty big vision.
Yes, but it's achievable. It's a big one, but it's achievable.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't think I could answer that any better. Like, I don't know. For me, it personally just comes down to just building an awesome community of people that get to enjoy art and music together, yeah. Let's see. Jason was was saying Santa Claus, Indiana here. And he said, philosophical question for y'all. How do you put your worldviews into the lyrics? Much of the music gives dystopian vibes. However, it feels deeper than that. And that's a good question.
Yeah, I love that question. I love all these questions. These are amazing. So thought-provoking. Well, I feel like as artists, it's inevitable that what we create and express and put out there is inevitably going to express our own experience of the world, right? Like our own human experience, our own observation of our experience, and the observation of the world around us. So yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely a reflection of our own perception. And I think it's awesome that other people can relate to it.
For sure.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think as artists, every little detail can be so inspiring, and how you I don't know, perceive that detail then is so individual and beautiful. And I just, it's fascinating. And I think you can't help it. It just goes into whatever it is you're making.
Yeah, it's interesting because I think that you never know, like, you know, if you heard a certain song or saw a piece of art or had a conversation, how that might influence you later on. It just kind of goes into the pot, you know, that brews up and makes the next batch of soup.
It's like our
Mhm.
Alice Cauldron.
Yes.
I see here that there is a corgi that likes our music, and I would just like to say that as like corgis are like dog fairies, you know, in the dog world, they are the fairies of Dogland. And which songs does your corgi like? What does your corgi do to express this liking? I must know.
Yes, probably wiggles its butt because they
Oh.
do that all the time.
Get a little booty shake. Oh my stars, so precious.
I love that Jason is mentioning that he's a poet and that the tumult of your life drives your writings and the music is relatable. I think that's beautiful. And please feel free to share your poetry on in our community. We have a Discord channel. I'm not sure if you're on there, but if you are, that would be amazing to get to read some of your writing. I myself, like in my early songwriting days, that's kind of how I started, as I just wrote poems all the time. That's like how I express myself, poetry. So I love reading poetry and writing poetry and integrating poetry into my lyrics. So that's awesome to encounter a fellow poet.
Robert was sort of extending on the earlier conversation about sort of our ultimate vision. And he said, music can stop war, music can change the vision of many. And he was asking, how do you envision music production in the future? Will it be a single entity without album releases? And no, that's a good question. I feel like, honestly, you know, the beauty of any sort of art is like you could break the rules, right? So you don't have to release an album, you know, you could just release singles, and plenty of bands do that. Plenty of artists do that. Some people just release like a minute of silence or something, you know, like you could really do whatever you want, and it's whatever you want to create, like that's fine, you know. I personally like albums just because like I grew up listening to albums and experiencing a collection of songs, you know, like that, like somebody sat down or a group of people sat down and like really put a lot of thought into in terms of how it all flows into each other. You know, you listen to an album like Pink Floyd's The Wall, to me that's like one of the greatest concept albums where it's like there's no beginning and no end. It's like this unending circle, you know, and you hear how each song goes into the other song. Um, and I love that, you know, and there's just so many albums like that use sort of the idea of like, let's bring a person on a journey. But we personally like to release music, you know, both as singles and as full albums as well. So, and we're excited about the eventual double album that we're going to be putting out, which is going to be the ultimate like album that will collect As Above and So Below, which we're still currently writing. That one.
Yeah, that was when we wrote the collection of songs back in January of 2020. We had a very specific vision in mind for the As Above So Below album, and you know, we were thinking about like very specific things like the breaking of chains and Tree of Life, and what does As Above So Below mean to us, and interwoven in there is obviously like our own personal experiences that we were going through. And so it's been interesting diving into So Below because I feel like that's definitely shifted. We've had a couple of years since then, and we're like, oh, now we've had all these other experiences and these other perspectives, and we need to kind of weave those in. So we're actually probably going to be playing some of our new songs on the road, and so whenever we can. Sometimes we're playing shorter sets in the cities depending on like how many bands are playing that night. But when we have the bandwidth, we will absolutely be weaving in some of the new songs. And it's always fun to play like the new songs before they're even on the album because it gives us a chance to really feel what it's like. Like I feel like playing it in front of other people is what really makes it come to life. So
Oh yeah, it definitely gives it a new energy. And like sometimes we don't, well, I mean, we never know what to expect. It's so there are many things touring teaches us. And one of those things is have no expectations about anything ever. And so often like we'll think, okay, this song it's probably gonna hit this way. And then we play it and it doesn't. It hits totally different. It might be the complete opposite of what we thought. And it's so cool to see the song take a life of its own in other people. And I mean, that's just pure magic. So yeah, getting to play it live. I can't wait to play these live. It's going to be fun.
yeah. Oh, and Scott's going to share how to join our Discord on the Facebook. Jason, if you're interested, I actually would love to start up a channel. I'm not sure if we have a channel for just like sharing your own art.
There's we actually do. It's really, really awesome. We have a whole section for creations, both
nice.
writing and anything else, so it's a super creative little spot, and I think someone on YouTube channel also asked for our email address, so I'm just gonna say like anyone who wants to reach out to us via email can do so at contact@ilikealice.com, but I'll also put that in there. And also somebody asked us where to send fan art, and we do have a PO box, so we'll send that out as well.
Oh, and hi Bird, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. Good to see you on here. And Devin's asking if we get radio play. Yes, we do actually, and it's helpful when it's a very word of mouth organic thing. Like people will tell their DJ friends like, hey, check out this band, and then we'll find out, oh wow, there's this radio station that's playing us, or there's this internet station that's playing us, and that's amazing. So it's been a really like very organic word of mouth kind of thing for our DJ friends to play us. So, and it's really cool when we hear about it. And that's really cool. Like Zorn is saying that music helps in a lot of ways, and that the game, oh, I love that. Drawing and calming music and writing. I love that. Sash, you actually got asked, well, the band got asked, but I know you're the gamer, like what your video game is.
Oh, my stars. How do you pick? I think anything Elder Scrolls ever put out, anything. I mean, and Fallout too. Like I just love Bethesda games, but Skyrim is like a jam. And then I have not been able to play in a very long time, which kind of makes me like I gotta make that time. But I played, I think the last game I played was Ori and the Will-o'-the-Wisps, and it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was just this whole universe of beautiful invented creatures and this little like owl that hopped around, and I mean it was just stunning. Highly recommend. So thanks for asking.
Yeah, some of my favorite games. I haven't gamed in a long time, but I was a huge fan of Half-Life 2. That thing was just amazing. Like, it's like just took over my life for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Zelda. So.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you think about like the yummy things we grew up on, like Zelda was fantastic, and all the Final Fantasies, so beautiful. And I do know, and I'm just disclaiming right now, when the new Elder Scrolls game comes out, I will fall into a hole for 2 weeks. I will reemerge victorious, but it's also probably going to be like a decade. So those games are very long in creation.
Patrick is saying that Terry was asking about if we're doing more acoustic recordings or Alice Underground recordings, and yes, we're kind of focusing on So Below for right now. It's one of those things like between the touring and the actual like album creation, it's sort of like we have to sort of pick our little avenues.
Pick our battles.
Pick a path. So but we will be getting to that, absolutely. Scott has actually mixed, like on our last tour, he mixed 3 songs in the van. It was pretty amazing. Like he did the Dead Lucky mix, he did the mix for we did a couple of different compilation albums, and yeah, it's a lot because he wasn't sleeping. But
Yeah,
we're trying to
that was
encourage
fun.
some sleep on this upcoming tour for all of us.
We don't need to sleep. Mm.
I
So,
sleep when I'm
Matt
dead.
Matt Harsha was asking, has anyone ever come to a show dressed up as Alice, a Mad Hatter, or any other characters from the books or movies? We've
Yes.
seen some Hatters.
Yes, and I love and when we played in Bisbee, it was Alice in Bisbeeland. And that was such a cool show because the whole town, like the entire town here, like the whole thing gets converted and you see people on the streets like, oh, there's a caterpillar. Oh, there's some cards, you know, that are walking around. We saw like multiple Red Queens. I felt like I was in this
Mhm.
like dream.
Yeah, I thought the cards were so creative. Like those cards, they were beautiful. You know, I was so impressed. That's such a cool costume. And we did also in New Orleans. We had a hatter came as Alice, and that was really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
We
awesome.
always encourage, if you want to dress up, do it, go for it. If not, don't do it, you know. But
Yeah, we've
it's
had
up to
people
you, you
come in
know.
their face paint,
Yeah.
which is so fun. Like we love that. It's awesome. But yes, people are encouraged to just come and get creative with us.
Yeah, it's so fun to see people come and like their beautiful makeup and it's I love it. I love that like we're all part of the same like really tightly knit community there, and that just makes me really happy.
Oh, Reggie is asking when we are playing in LA again. And
Hi,
yes, that's a great question. We haven't played LA in a little bit. I think last summer was our last time to play
Mhm.
LA. So
Yeah.
that's a good question. We don't have anything on deck yet. I think we're just kind of in the mode of like just touring outside of LA and then you know, focusing on the album because it's hard to kind of juggle. And so I think there's gonna reach a moment where we might like press the pause button on the touring as much as we love it, to try to like really just focus on So Below and put more new music out into the world. So, but we'll see. Every time I say that, it's like another tour gets presented, and it's like, well, we can't say no to that. Like, we need to go say hi to our people.
Right. I did want to correct myself earlier. I said we'll sleep when we're dead. I think we should sleep now also. I was like,
Yeah.
we should, you know, like I know that we have a gajillion things to do and they're all priority zero. Like there's no way to prioritize because it's all so heartfelt. It all has to get done. And I also would like to vote for good rest because it makes for good thinking. You know, I think it was Einstein who said something like he needs 10 hours of sleep a night, 12 if they expect him to do physics. I don't want 10 hours of sleep, but I understand that concept of like, how do I demushify myself so that I can be a better participant in this? Like, how can I access more parts of my mind? You know, so I'm like, I would like to correct my previous statement. And Devin, do any of us have pets? And if so, what kinds? I love this question. Carl?
Oh, we're going here. I have a 70-pound German Shepherd Husky mix named Luna, and she is currently sleeping on the back porch right now. She can't use her yard because we're growing her some new grass, and it's also raining, so she's just kind of perched up there right now. But every once in a while, we'll send the pictures around and everything. So I'm fairly certain everyone's going to see her at some point.
She's so beautiful.
She's a good one.
Yeah. And I have borrowed dogs. I had a dog and my mother stole him. Like she's flat out dog thief. You know, like there's no way around it. She stole my dog and she stole my sister's dog. So I get to borrow her dogs. So Moosey is like a little 8-pound pumpkin poodle. And I think he's like 16 now, you know, and he's just an angel. Like he loves Tosh so much. Like he loses his dog mind when she's over. It's so great. And then a Wolfgang. I have Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who is a little Catan. He's a little black fluffy love explosion. He's very chatty, and he whisper sings with my mom when she plays piano. So she'll be playing piano and he sits near her and he won't howl. Like Moosey will full on sing out, and Wolfie's just like it's like he's keeping it to himself, but he can't help it. I don't know how to tell him that it's okay to like sing from your heart, little dog. So I don't know how to communicate that, but I love the whisper singing.
Aw.
And then Stevers has a doggo as well. He's not here, but he has a cute little dog named Timmy. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, Timmy's awesome. Timmy's awesome. We had a doggy featured in our 13th hour anthology. There's
Hi,
Luna.
Luna. Oh, she's so beautiful.
Oh man, she's a good doggy.
Yeah, this is Luna. It looks like she just woke up from a nap.
Oh,
Look at her eyes when she looks at you. Oh my stars.
Those are
I'm,
logos.
Going back to
like,
sleep.
I'm gonna go.
Oh
Go
my
back to
good
sleep.
night. Good night. Well, it's raining. I totally understand. She just wants to curl up with a book and read in the bed.
So nobody can see my non-clean house.
Yesterday, yeah, I understand. I keep this on because I also have a very messy house. And yesterday, I do not know what happened. I like rotated in some way, and like a chicken showed up here for like
What?
2 seconds. A chicken, and I was like, "Are we
And
recording
you're-
this?
what?
Because there's a chicken." No, just on the screen. And I was just, and of course, I had no idea what I did, so I couldn't do it again. And there was a chicken yesterday. I apologize for whatever chicken
What?
shenanigans
Wait, there's
there
a-
were on my screen yesterday. I do not actually have a chicken.
Wait, what?
It
Wait,
was like
when
a
did you-
glitch in the Matrix, but there was a chicken flying like right here. It wasn't
So-
really flying;
oh,
it was
like, right-
rotating.
Oh,
Yeah, like on
from
the screen, like there was some
Wow.
sort of a glitch, and it was, but
That's
it was
amazing.
a chicken. It was definitely a chicken. It was like a computer chicken.
Well, I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna look at the recording and see
Yes!
what's going on here.
Chicken.
I guess it's a chicken in the Matrix.
A Matrix chicken.
Yeah,
It's a real thing.
Agent
A
Chicken.
glitchin,
Agent chicken.
a glitch chicken.
A glitch.
A glitchin.
Mhm.
Well, we're coming up on 4 o'clock, y'all. So
Yeah,
gotta get back to packing things.
Yes. Well,
does
thank
anyone
you.
have any? Oh,
Any
go on.
last minute questions?
Final
Any
question.
last minute questions? You want to get final question?
Carl Wolfgang's your granddad's name. That's so cool. Okay, that was my last explosion.
This is so
Carl's
strange
like,
having
"That's
another
not my
Carl
name."
around. It's like I'm so used to being I'm so glad there's another one, but I'm just so used to being the only Carl. And I hear the name, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah, people screw up Tosh and Sash all the time. When we screw it up, you
And
know.
our mothers do too. Actually, my mom does.
Mother. I love
Yeah.
it.
Oh, and Robert, yes, please. We would love for you to come out to our Ohio show. Yeah, well, I guess we can connect about you being able to come in and interview and review it. That would be amazing. And thank you
Yeah.
for taking that time. That's awesome. Oh, and Hannah's mentioning that she can't come out to the Chicago show. Oh, but we will miss you. Thank you so much, though, for connecting with us online. That's the beauty of the virtual world, is that even if you can't come out in person, it's wonderful that we can connect like right here. And our show that we're launching is going to be virtual. So y'all can tune in and catch us
Anyone
virtually.
can, yeah.
Still be hanging out. That's on April 17th, I think. But yeah,
Mhm.
so we'll have like a virtual show for those that can't make it out. And even if you can come and hang out with us virtually. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us on Sunday. And yeah, hope y'all have an awesome rest of the week.
Our Sunday fun
Everyone,
day.
Sunday fun
Take
day.
care. Thank you so much for your support
Thank
and for tuning in. And
Yeah.
we might see you next weekend.
Yes.
Thanks, y'all.
All right.